Hey y'all, this is your fave nurse, and I'm here to talk to you guys about buying properties while being on a contract. And this applies to any healthcare worker out there. So whether you're a respiratory therapist, whether you're MRI tech, a surgical tech, you name it, if you're doing a contract for your occupation, you can still buy a home. All right. I know there's a lot of chat about being somewhere for a certain amount of time, being employed for a certain amount of time. It's just inaccurate. It's so inaccurate. You can buy a home while being a contract, travel, all the above health worker. And I am here to show you how. Isn't that great? Because I didn't have the information when I was doing it. So I decided to put one up for y'all. All right, let's get into it. So when you are ready to buy, and when I say ready, I mean you have a substantial amount of money saved up or it's somewhere, and you have a lender on board and you have a realtor on board, because those are your two main people that you're going to be hitting up the most for that season of buying. So once you have that, I'm not going to get into that because that's a whole separate content right there. And personally, I don't feel like I'm even qualified to talk about it. I think you should talk to a specialist about it, a realtor, a lender, and they can break down the steps. But most important takeaway for what I just said is that you need to find someone who has done this before for a contract or local or agency healthcare worker. You have to find someone that's done it before, and it'll be so much easier. So once you have those people on board, you want to find a contract that is long term. When I say long term, I'm talking about 6 months, because us agency, travel, healthcare workers, we don't like staying too long, because if you know, you know. Anyways, you have to get one and you have to be on your best behavior. Find a 6-month contract. I think that is such an appropriate time. And then find one that is in desperate need of extension, because you want to be stable somewhere. Why you want to be somewhere for that long? Because you don't know how long it's going to take for you to buy a home, and you don't want to be switching from one contract to the other while you're in that process of purchasing a home, because then it might fall through. It might not work. So you want to make sure that you're located somewhere that needs you and you're not going to go nowhere. Okay. So once you have your lender and your realtor, you have your money in the bank, or money. It has to be in the bank first off. It has to be, because you need to prove it. Money in the bank. And then you have your contract in place. Now you can start looking for the homes, and you have to be aggressive when it comes to that. Every open house, be there. You and your realtor are going to literally be talking every single day. The lender needs something, give it right there and then. You have to be super quick with everything, because you want to be quick too, because you don't know if it's going to take you that full 6 months to find a home. So you want to literally speed up everything. You can't take your time. Obviously, you want to find the home that best suits you. You don't want to rush it too much, but you have to be aggressive in a sense where you really can't be, dragging your feet when it comes to this process. You have to, and not only you that needs to be aggressive, but your team needs to be aggressive. Like your realtor, your lender. Personally, mine were phenomenal. 10 out of 10. Listen, it was how quickly I found my crib was insane, because they literally knew I wasn't playing games. They knew I wanted this to be a quick process, my first home, and we were in and out. Don't get me wrong. If one house fell through, and that's a whole nother situation, but that was just God telling me that house wasn't meant for me. But the house that I have now provides me more income. Not only that, and it's just better for what I'm doing my group home stuff with. So I lost track of what I was saying. But what I'm trying to say is everyone needs to be quick. You can't drag your feet. You got to be turning in stuff quickly, okay? So once you found the home, you put an offer in. And then you see whether your offer has been approved. So let's say your offer was approved. Then you have to give like a purchase and sales transaction. So you have to give like a little bit of down deposit, depending on the state, depends on how much you have to give down. So during that process, your lender is going to be asking you for stuff. Your realtor is going to ask for your signature for a lot of the documents that needs to be done. Because everyone is trying to work together so we can close in that 30 days. We're not trying to chill or anything like that. We need to close because your contract is going to be up soon. Okay. So during those times, that's when you're getting your inspection done. That's when you're, communicating back and forth a lot. And it can be very stressful. And that's when the lender is looking in your pocket, in your bank to see if you got the money. Okay. So this is when I go back to you need a strong team, because your team is going to be communicating with you about everything. Like my realtor would talk to me about and break down to me what I need, what that means, and all that. Your lender's telling you, how much you might be paying for mortgages, how much, the house is worth, with the appraisal, all that stuff is going to the lender. And he's gonna, or she is gonna tell you all of the house stuff. Your realtor is gonna, be facilitating with the transaction between the other, with the seller and you. And if there's documentations and stuff like that, you're also going to need a lawyer for when you close and make sure that everything goes smoothly. Sometimes things get interrupted, but you want to make sure that you're prepared for that as well too. So that's why I was saying 6 months instead of 3 months, because 6 months gives you that time where if it is an interruption or a house falls through like I did, I had time to find another crib. You feel me? You feel me? So once you've turned in all the things that you need to turn in, which are like sometimes bank statements, income verification, where every single bank account, every transaction you've done, you can't purchase things when you're in that process, like a car. You can't do a lot. Like these banks are watching your money. So you want to be on your best behavior too during that time, because any little thing during underwriting, they're gonna be like, hold up, what you doing here? Nah, we're not going through with this. So you really want to be on your best behavior. Next is closing day. Closing day, everything is good, everything is secured. You go in there, you sign some papers at the lawyer's office, you get your keys, and it's a done deal. I didn't get in depth with the real estate stuff and the lending stuff because that's not my profession. I wanted to just share to y'all how to do it as a contract person, but let me know your thoughts. Bye, y'all.